G'day, how are we all going today? We are doing a quick run through of our, or I should say but Tiffany and I recently just went to Japan, and if you go to Japan and you're into fishing like we are, you're pretty much crazy if you don't check out a few tackle stores. So to say we checked out a few is a bit of an understatement. We went pretty well nuts for 3 days looking for tackle stores and thrift shopping in Tokyo. Checking out Shinjuku, Shibuya, Tokyo itself, in the center of Tokyo, and all those places. And to be honest, I reckon we would have ended up going to 10 to 12 stores tackle-wise, and God knows how many bloody second stores or second-hand Louis Vuitton stores and high-end handbags and shoes and stuff Tiffany looked at as well, which is pretty unreal over there. You're sort of not up to date with everything that happens in different countries until you go over there and check it out. And their thrift shopping for that high-end gear is absolutely unreal. But anyway, back to the tackle store and a bit of a haul. I went nuts. We had a bit of a budget each and I went crazy. So the first thing I'm going to do is probably the last item that we bought, which is this Shimano rod storage, transport, rod holder basically. And the reason I bought that is, well, I bought a rod. So if you're over there and you do get a chance to do this for yourself, there is a lot of bargains to be had, but a lot of stuff can be dearer as well. So you have to sort of be right on it, make sure you're doing some sort of conversions there to check prices and everything like that. But when I was there, I managed to get this ripple fish, not a ripple fish, it's a Yamaga Blanks, and it's a blue sniper 7'3" in PE3. I personally love my longer rods for all my casting, so most of my PE3, PE6 and PE8 is all around that 7'9" to 8 foot range, and I picked this rod up after picking up a number of different Yamaga Blanks in the blue snipers in shorter versions. I really needed a PE3 casting rod for the flats and stuff over here, and none of them really felt right until I found this guy. So it feels absolutely perfect for me. Casts up to 70 grams, so they do say it's PE2 to 4, but yeah, 5k max drag and 30 to 70 gram cast weight. It feels beautiful, matched up with my Saltiga BJ in the 4000. And yeah, can't wait to get this guy wet and loaded up because it feels absolutely insane. In terms of price for that guy, I reckon it's realistically half price, and that's probably half price on a sale price in Australia. So I paid around $400 for that rod. And from what I can tell in Australia, they're really an $800 to $900 rod. So unreal, super stoked with that one. And the rod tube fits in our ski bag too. So magic. If we go overseas again and we go tackle shopping, I'll definitely be taking the rod tube with me. Okay. We managed to find a heap of other cool things. There's plenty of tackle shops over there. Some of the store names are Tackleberry, has a lot of used stuff as well. Some of those stores are very small, others are quite large, and they do all their own packaging for their used stuff. So I only found 3 little things that caught my eye. 2 jigs, 160, one 100 gram, and this sinking wooden stick bait. I've never seen these before, but it just looked really cool, a little bit older, a little bit more vintage. If anybody knows what it is or what their heritage is, I'd love to know. It does have some writing on the top of it. I haven't personally Googled it or anything yet, but I just thought it was really cool. I'm not even sure that I'll throw it. But yeah, if you know what it is and you know where they originate from, I'd love to know, guys. But yeah, a couple of really cool little ones. I did get one quite expensive wooden handmade lure. Not the cheapest, right around $100, but you don't go to these places without getting something really nice that you really take the fancy of. And this guy here, it came from a Johshuya store. Joshua stores are a chain over there, a bit like our Tackle World, and it is amazing. The gear that these guys had is phenomenal. That's where the rod come from, where the rod case come from, and most of the stuff, to be honest, come from Joshua stores. But we did go to quite a few different ones, and they all had different gear and different stock. So yeah, this guy here I will be surely using for dog tuna. Specifically, it will be one of my doggy lures. So looks amazing. No doubt I'll catch G's and Spanos and stuff like that, but when we particularly go chasing doggies, this guy will be one of the first ones I tie on. Really cool lure. The other one that I have no idea what to do with, but it really just caught my eye, is this little fella here. For me, it's a perfect sort of fusey imitation, but some of the detail on it is quite cool. And it was just really odd. It's in a floating lure, but something different. We don't see this sort of stuff. It's very different. It's an odd shape without being an odd shape, but just caught my eye. So I picked him up. Not sure even whether I'll cast this or throw it at all, but yeah, just a cool one. I might keep him in the packet. Got a couple of other floating stickies, 150s, just really nice holographic designs and detail on these guys. I couldn't walk past them. Probably about 30 bucks a lure. Pretty standard, but just really nice styles, really nice colors. A couple of bangers there. We picked up just a couple of egging lures, an Emeraldus and just a couple of other different ones. We don't see these guys in Australia. It is a little bit different and a slightly different shrimp leg there. So really cool looking and just different. So that's what we were looking for, is different things that we could pick up over there that we're not going to get in Australia. These are my favourite hooks. I use these forever and a day, jigging. Best jig hooks assists that I've ever seen, ever used for that slow pitch style jigging for our reds and nannies and all our reef fish. I don't use these when I'm jigging for doggies or anything with sharp teeth. Their cord just won't stick up to the test, but really, really good solid hooks and super, super strong. The ones that I do currently have only come with the singles, but these actually come rigged with splitties as well, slightly different color. Did a little bit of research, but they're exactly the same hook, they just got a different coating. I got them in about 6 different sizes, so really happy with that, and super cheap compared to what I buy them in Australia for, almost half price, I believe. Onto lines, didn't do anything crazy here. It's got some Veriverse Ocean Record 140 pound leader, just because I was out, and realistically pretty good price, about 30 bucks. Pretty standard, might be a little bit dearer in Australia, but yeah, 25 to 30 bucks for that guy, so happy with that. My one and only line that I basically use, I just can't get enough of Saltiga 12 braid. It is by far the best braid that I have ever used and had the less dramas with and had the most spills of. I've used some Veriverse stuff that, you know, I have 1 or 2 spills of and have an issue with it straight away. I've probably had 30 or 40 spills of this Saltiga 12 and never had a drama. Yes, it's thin, but I'm not barra fishing. I'm not in the creeks and the rivers rubbing on snags and stuff all the time. We are out in the ocean, either jigging deeper water, you know, 50, 60 plus, and then casting. So for casting distance, this stuff rockets, and it's got very little restriction when it goes through the water and you're using it for jigging, and it is damn tough. PE3 is about, what's it say there, 55 pounds. Good luck breaking it. We get snags sometimes on the bottom, and it is an absolute mission to break this. Okay. And realistically, if you're on the reef, abrasion resistance means nothing, because it's that bloody damn sharp. It doesn't matter what braid you're using. If you rub on the reef, you're going to break your line, especially if there's a fish hooked onto it. So yeah, this stuff is out of control. I would have bought probably 6 spools of this, but there was only one in a size that I needed and wanted, and it was literally less than half price. It was probably about 40% of the cost in Australia. So if you can find that when you're over there, it's bloody cheap. Get amongst it. Alrighty. Found one Saltiga jig that I really liked. It was basically the only one in the store. I never saw any of them anywhere else. It's my favourite colour. I love red, gold and blue jigs. Looks really cool, perfect weight, 130 grams, absolutely unreal for what we do in Australia. So couldn't go past that guy. Price wise, about $15 to $20, somewhere there. So again, we pay $25 to $30 a jig in Australia. So really good buy. Some CB1s, probably not that different. Can definitely pick these up here and there in Australia, but I've never seen them before. So I got 3 of these guys. Got just the plain silver, a red and gold, and a silver and chartreuse colour. I suck saying chartreuse, but yeah, standard sort of colours. 150 grams will be very nice, something different to put down there and show them that I haven't seen before. This guy, it was just cheap, bit different, never seen him before. High speed, but still uses a slow speed jig, so big long profile, only 130 grams. Be interested to see what I can catch on this guy, and yeah, just a cheap jig. It was about $9. Now the last ones, got some jackals. Okay, jackal jigs. We've got a few of them already over here. I do a bit of online shopping from different countries, but I have never seen these guys before. They're called the BAM Blues Jig Slow. So heaps of detail, come rigged with pretty decent looking hooks. No doubt I'll give them a run, but I wouldn't be surprised if I change them out pretty quickly. These have some crazy detail. I'm just going to touch the screen there so that I know what I'm looking at. Doesn't want to work. How about the back? There we go. So that guy there, really, really cool. Crazy detail on the eye and the head, not too sure whether you can see it. And then the shape of these jigs is not like anything that we really use. So quite different in how they are shaped, and really cool detail. So even though it's probably a bit heavy for me, we will definitely put these to use when the current's ripping. Very much so a slow jig, and no doubt we will smack some fish on these. So I got that in 3 colours, standard sort of pilcher colour. Again, I must like gold and red, so gold and red one there, and then yet again, gee, anybody would think I buy the same colour lures, but that one's just a silver and chartreuse. And these guys, price-wise, I can't really remember. I think they're about $22 they worked out to be. $22 to $25 Australian, so absolute bargains again. Did spend a lot of money over there, but really cool stuff. Loads of different things to look at, loads of different techniques. One thing that is quite different to Australia is none of their rods are out on display basically. Most of the time they're still in their packaging, wrapped up, all just in sections of what they are and where they belong. So to start off with, felt a little bit weird, you know, taking rods out of bags and everything like that, but you've got to do it if you want to check them out. One last thing, I did have just some little skirts. So those guys there are just little jig assist skirts that I will pop on. These are quite hard to find in Australia in different places too. So I've got 4 packets of these, just different colours and stuff, but just something a little bit different. And yeah, we had an absolute ball, guys. We're going to be working on videos weekly from here on out. We are going to struggle though. We are very weather dependent, and I don't like to play in the rivers and creeks too much. Offshore is our forte and where I want to spend all my time. We've fished rivers and creeks and stuff before. It just doesn't have that same adrenaline rush. It doesn't get the heart pumping. There's nothing like jigging, 50 to 100 metres of water plus, or getting up on those reef flats in a metre of water and sight cast and trout and lipper. It's hell for leather. So stick along, guys. Hopefully I'll get to put some of this gear to use shortly. If you haven't already, like, subscribe, and stick along for the ride, guys. Plenty of stuff to come. Thank you.